Hello, everybody. This is Micki Larson-Olson, aka QPATRIOT, January 6th, inmate 376303. And I am sitting down for my one meal of the day. I am getting ready to go on a 3-day fast. I do a 3-day fast every month, and we're getting ready to be at the end of the month, but I've been on the road. I went out to Washington, D.C. To be part of the event to bring our republic back to God, to rededicate our republic back to God. And that was an amazing event spent with really good friends. And then I stopped in Tennessee, which of all the states I've been to, which is about 28 now, it's the most beautiful I've seen. But some say Oregon, but I've never been there. So Tennessee has my heart, and some of my favorite people in the world live out there in Tennessee. So it was wonderful seeing all of them again. And now I'm home, trying to get back on track from my cookie. When I make cookies, I cannot eat them. So I'm trying to get things back on track now. And so I'm home, and I had some food in the house. I need to go ahead and get it done because I can't freeze it, and it's not going to last through my 3-day fast. So I had some of my gyro meat. I had some pita pockets, but even trying to recuperate them, steaming them and stuff, they were still kind of hard. So I'm just having the meat with some tomatoes, onions, and scallop onions, my tzatziki sauce. I think that's how you pronounce it, tzatziki sauce. And I think that's it. And that's because I have a lot of seasonings inside of my gyro, which I made with parchment. I used lamb for that. And I just go on Google and I say I need a recipe for parchment, for lamb made with parchment paper. And use whatever seasonings you want. Okay, I confess, I like things a bit salty. And my good friend Sharon Kuzleka, who I never cooked for until recently, she doesn't like things quite as salty as me. She said very flavorful, a bit salty. So at least now I know she was honest enough. So the next day when I made blueberry waffles, and made blueberry sauce too. I'd never done that before. It turned out amazing. And I made her some scrambled eggs. At least she told me, so I only put a little pinch of salt. She said everything was great. So I am so grateful to my very good friend, my earth angel, Sharon Kuzleka, who sold some of her gold so that she could fly to Abilene, Texas from Utah to take care of my dog Roxy, who has been suffering from horrible separation anxiety since David left and went to take care of his mom in Nebraska, and that was October 5th. And she had never tried to get out of the yard before or anything like that. Right after he left, I went to the mailbox, which is like a 5-minute there and back walk to our community mailbox. And she broke through twice. And then I went for one day to go to church in Benton, Arkansas for Easter. And I got back and she had broken out again. So I was very nervous about that. Now I had a good friend, my good friend. She was also the best Chief Master Sergeant I ever encountered, and my 21 years in the Air Force. And she was the best supervisor, and she's a treasured friend. So she was going to come and look after Roxy, which was great when she wasn't breaking out of the yard, because I've always just left the door open so she could come and go. Anyway, eternally grateful for Sharon for coming and taking care of Roxy and the house and everything. And so I could go out to Washington, D.C. as QPATRIOT and do what I felt God called me to do many years ago. And so I really felt pulled to go to D.C. to be part of the rededication ceremony to our republic back to God. So I'm grateful I was able to do that. I feel like I did really good work there. A lot for me is about the media has put it out there that I'm this certain kind of person. That as Q people are these crazy psycho people, right? So a lot of what I do is to try to dispel the myth that's been projected on society about me. They never tell society that I'm a retired Air Force, Iraq War veteran, 21 years Air Force. They never tell them any of that. So I try to dispel that. And I hand out little gifts, like just they're cheap stuff. I get like these cheap little gifts. I hand them out, whatever. The media, the Associated Press, I gave a little butterfly pen, right? It's a Tiffany blue butterfly pen, and it had a cross on it because we're at a Christian, we're at this event where we're rededicating our republic back to God. So I had these pens, and I'm handing them out. And I never hand out anything to a child without the parent's consent. I always ask the parent, is it okay if I give this to your child? And this mother-daughter, they were actually dressed in the same dresses. They were so cute. And it was a wonderful encounter. And yet, Associated Press had to dirty it up. They have to dirty it up. They said I was handing out QAnon pens to the children. That's such BS. Okay. When I run into my anons, my fellow anons, I have these gold Cuba pens. They're cheapo pens. I get them on Amazon. But if I have them on me, I give them to my fellow anons. Only my fellow anons. I don't give them to children. I don't give them to anybody that's not an anon because honestly, they don't deserve them and they wouldn't appreciate them. Okay? I did hand out little buttons that I got on Temu that said Armor of God on it. I handed those out to the children, again, with parental consent, and I handed them out to adults as well as children. I handed out the butterflies to adults as well as children. I handed out pens, like ink pens, that have biblical Bible verses to both children and grown-ups. And I handed out these rubber bracelets that I wear, and it says fully rely on God. Frog anons are frogs. And so anyway, yeah, I hand out little gifts, just cheap little gifts. But people appreciate them. But the media had to dirty it up. They had to dirty it up, and they said, convicted of a misdemeanor, Micki Larson-Olson, for her part in January 6th and the President Trump in storming the Capitol, was handing out QAnon pens to the children. You know what's heartbreaking to me is this girl, she sits down and she tells me she's with the Associated Press. It doesn't matter to me because to me, I'm going to speak the truth. And if you do dirty with the truth, you're going to have to answer to God for that. That's all I got to say. If you do dirty with the truth in God's word and him using me as a vessel for his word, then you're going to have to answer to that. You're going to have to answer to God for that. Because you saw what that encounter was about, Julia. You saw me with the children. And you let them dirty my name. I thought you were a wonderful young woman. All she said was, I said, do you want me to stand up? And she said, no, you just pretend like I'm not even here. I thought she was great. And I don't honestly think she knew what words they were going to attach to her image, to her images. Okay. There was like 5 she got photo credits for. 5 images she got photo credits for of me. If you Google my name and 250, ceremony, you'll see me. And all of them have her name. But she let them dirty up my name. She let them misconstrue what happened, and sometimes I feel like it just doesn't, they're never going to give me a fair shake. And when I feel like that, overwhelmed by that, I just think, look at what President Trump's been through. And his whole family. General Flynn and his whole family. I can handle it. I can, but it doesn't make it right. It just doesn't make it right. Anyway, so I'm home, getting settled. No more naughty eating. No more than one meal a day. I was doing great, my 1 meal a day. It's a little harder to do when you're out, and about. So anyway, so this is my 1 meal a day today. And yeah. And also, I have a GARDYN. I have a GARDYN. And so I don't buy lettuce at the store anymore. Don't buy any lettuce. This is spinach that I grew on my GARDYN. This is spinach. This is red sorrel that I grew on my GARDYN. And this, I believe, is the romaine lettuce. This is romaine lettuce. And this is my basil. This is my basil I grew on my GARDYN. And this is my purple basil. This one, my friend Sharon, so I use this on my pizza. I put in my pizza sauce when I make my homemade pizza. And my friend Sharon, she was like, Micki, it's like you can smell it from a ways away. You can smell it. It really smells amazing. And you can smell it. And this is red beets. Red beets. I haven't tried these yet. I don't like beets. Ooh. Well, pretty good. Red beet lettuce or something. I don't know. Pretty good. Well, I'd be surprised because I don't like beets. Anyway. So, I'll break this up and put it with my gyro meat and my tomatoes and onions and my tzatziki sauce. And that'll be my 1 meal of the day. So, again, this is Micki Larson-Olson, a.k.a. QPATRIOT, January 6th and May 376303. Where we going? We go all. The best is yet to come. Oh, I got to tell you if it's yummalicious, yum yum, or blah. I think it's going to be yummalicious, yum yum. I already know I like my gyro sauce, even though it's a bit salty for other people. I mean, I don't know. Are they good? Oh, I got some feta cheese on there. That makes a big difference. That cheese made a big difference. Yummalicious, yum yum, everybody. God bless you all. You have a good night.